So that's direct mail. Websites are a great way, to find motivated sellers. Guys, there's only two ways to drive traffic to your website. Kind of like there's only two ways to find motivated sellers, and that's online marketing and offline marketing. Online marketing is getting people to, getting your website first on Google. So when somebody types in, need to sell my house fast, that online marketing drives them to your website. That's an example of online marketing. And, I think, we're going to be talking about some free ways to do that in some of the bonus modules. Offline marketing is just basically getting people to, let's say, for example, if you put out a bandit sign and and I forgot to mention this, you can put out that bandit sign and put your local phone number on there and also put your website on there, and that drives, people to your website. Not all sellers want to talk to you. Some people say, I'd rather talk to them, or communicate through email or through a website, so that's an example of offline marketing. Getting people, putting stuff out there and getting people to come to your website because of something else that you did. So on websites, guys, pictures capture attention. You don't want to put that many graphics on it. A lot of people say or think that, the more graphics, the better, the more, colorful and the more flowery, and maybe girls might have a harder time with this than some guys, because guys are known to be more simple sometimes. But, little to no graphics. People don't want to look at, a bunch of beautiful houses or ugly houses. They just want to get down to the point. What is it that you're going to do for them when they get to your website? They want to know that, when they get to the website, based on the information that they read there, that, number one, you buy houses. They want to know a little bit about you and your company. And, they want to feel that, this person's a legitimate person to buy my house. So you want to make it, personal. You want to, the content on your website, and I'll show you some examples now. You want to just basically tell them, hey guys, we buy houses for a living. This is what we do every day, and this is what we're experts in. We're not realtors or brokers. When you deal with us, you don't have to deal with the paperwork. No commissions, no closing costs, no fees. We handle everything. Imagine if you were in distress and somebody tells you that. You're gonna to an extent, you're gonna feel pretty comfortable with that person, because you're gonna be like, wow, this person's gonna handle everything for me. And it gives them a feeling of feeling comfortable with you and building a sense of trust with you. I think testimonials are important to have on your website. Obviously, for those of you who are starting out, you're not going to have testimonials, but the more you can get, and the more you can get, the better. And, you want to post these testimonials on your website, as soon as you can get them. Because when the sellers start going in there and start reading, oh wow, this person bought my house and resolved my problem, and if it wasn't for Eric and his team, I would still be in this situation, or, I wouldn't be able to relocate, whatever it might be. Testimonials are killer, guys, and they're very important in your business. I think the most important part of websites is to pre-screen your sellers. And we're going to talk about pre-screening next week, but I'm going to talk a little bit about it right now. But you want to make sure that your website is driven to getting your seller to fill out an information page where it's going to tell them a little bit about their situation and a little bit about the house. I'm going to have on the membership site, I'm going to have basically a property information page where it shows you exactly what you need to ask these sellers when they visit your website. And it's funny because I think somebody emailed me today asking me to look at their website, and it was pretty good. He had a property information page there where it was pretty much pre-screening the seller and telling them, look, how much is your house appraised for? What is it you're asking? Does the house need repairs? What do you owe on the house? Is the house vacant? If you sold your house for cash, what's the least you would take? That's what I mean by a property information page. I know we haven't covered it, but we're going to get to it. But that's the goal of your website. Now, this is, a picture of my actual website. And you guys are welcome to check it out. Go to myfasthomebuyers.com and you can check it out. And guys, I wanted to post my personal stuff here to show you that, hey, I'm actually out there doing this stuff, and this is a real business. I can't tell you guys, you know what? You know how much I pay for this website on a monthly basis? $39.95, $40 a month. And people have told me that they pay up to $300 a month for websites, and I consistently get compliments on this website. Why? Because it's simple, it's straight to the point, and it tells you exactly what we do, no nonsense. If you read just the first paragraph, hey, lots of people want to buy houses, but we buy houses all the time. It's what we do for a living, and the people we work with feel that we do it really good at our chosen profession. We're not realtors or brokers, so there are no extra fees that get charged when you deal with us. We're real estate investors with real money, and we'd rather spend it to buy your house at a fair price today. If a seller reads that, and obviously there's a lot more text going on there, they're going to feel pretty comfortable, and they're going to continue reading. Guys, the more information, the better. But notice there's not a big picture of my ugly face on my website. That would probably scare these sellers. They don't care for all that stuff. And if you can see right here, actually I'll point it out with my mouse, where it says sell your house now, right here, that's where I have that property information page. And I'm going to post that up on the membership site so you can see it. But guys, it's got to be a simple website. Hey, we buy houses. We can offer to buy your house cash regardless of area, repairs, or price range. This is powerful stuff. I think somebody complimented me on my website last week. And, I'm always shocked by it because, these websites are interesting. So, and I'll tell you this, guys, I think some of you had, and I keep relating to, the coaching session because it just kind of starts bringing up a lot of your questions. And somebody told me today, hey, Eric, should I have, my business cards on my website and, my LLC and my corporation all set up before I start going out there and start to attract motivated sellers? The answer is no. You don't need all that stuff set up. Guys, you don't need a website to find motivated sellers. We just talked about bandit signs and ugly vacant houses and stunning yellow letters. So don't worry if you don't have a website right off the bat. I started doing deals far before I even had my website. A website is something that, granted, it works and it's good, for people to see that, you're a professional type home buyer, but it's not going to make or break the deal. What's going to make or break the deal is if you, when you're sitting with the seller in the living room and, you lie to them or for whatever reason, you're not catering to what they're needing. That's when, you're not going to be picking up deals. So don't worry about not having a website right off the bat. It's important and it's one way to find motivated sellers, but it's not the end of the world if you don't have one. To be honest, I don't think I had a website for a few months, when I started my business and, we were doing deals left and right. So, but websites are a great way to find motivated sellers, and it's just kind of a professional looking approach to it. But again, keep it simple, no crazy pictures, and, the more simple, the better. I want to talk about some, internet ads. Internet ads are a great way to find motivated sellers. I think we talked a little bit about Craigslist on finding buyers, but Craigslist is a great way to find motivated sellers. And at the end of this module, for those of you that don't know what Craigslist is or have never used it, it's basically, I don't even know who the hell Craig is, but thank God Craig is alive and, he created it because it's just like a forum where you can post, anything and everything. You go on Craigslist and you can buy whatever it is you want, chairs, television, real estate, all different types of things. But it's a great way to find motivated sellers. And at the end of this module, I actually created a video on exactly how to post an ad on Craigslist. For some of you that are kind of experienced with Craigslist, maybe you don't know where to post it. Well, that video shows you exactly where to post it, and, exactly how to do it and where it needs to be in your particular city. Obviously, it's usually under the real estate wanted section. But Craigslist is powerful, guys, and, you might not think about it, but sellers do have access to the internet. Their house might be falling apart, but they have an internet connection for some reason. I don't know why, but they do. And it's great because it's free to post, ads on there. It doesn't cost you any money. It just only takes you a couple minutes to post ads on there. Same thing with Backpage, ads. Backpage is a great way. It's another, Backpage isn't as popular as Craigslist. But it's still a good way to post ads on there. And, in other words, the type of ads you're posting on here, guys, again, it's We Buy Houses ads. And I got a sample. Everything that I'm talking about tonight, we're going to have a sample of everything we're talking about. Nowadays, social media networks are huge. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. These are ways to connect with people, on the outside world. Again, some of these sellers, I don't know. It baffles me that, their roof might be caving in, but they have access to Facebook and they have an internet connection. Why is it? I don't know, but they do. Maybe you want to create a Facebook page or a MySpace page, even though a lot of people don't use MySpace anymore. But, people use these things and you can create, a We Buy Houses fan page or something like that. We Buy Houses, for your company or yourself as an individual. and letting people, letting people know that you buy houses. And what's great about it is that, with these social networking sites, guys, there's so many people on these things, and it's a good way for letting other people know that you buy houses. It was funny, obviously, with all this flip crushers going on. I went to the pool this weekend, and I had some flip crusher stuff of on my Facebook page, and I had people come up to me in the pool that I never really even talked to about business, and they were like, "Hey man, I saw flip crushers, good stuff." Or they'll come even and tell me, "Hey Eric, I never knew you bought houses. That's pretty cool." And then I start telling them about it. Hey, I buy houses, and then I throw that in there. Hey guys, if you're ever looking, if you ever find an ugly vacant house, I pay referrals for that type of stuff. I'll pay you $1,000 if I end up buying a house. Powerful stuff, guys. Alex, were you going to chime in and say something?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, guys, that Eric, you kind of touched on it. If you guys are going to do Facebook, and Facebook has gotten to the point that it's bigger than Google, if you can believe that. If you have just a regular Facebook page, Facebook only limits you to about, I think, 5,000 friends. The best thing to do is, like Eric said, create a fan page, because you can have an unlimited amount of people there. And the cool thing is that if you have, like, for example, a, We Buy Houses fan page or whatever, people that become fans of that, they want to find out about your property. So you can start building. That's another way to start building a list, and we're going to talk about that as well. So, I just wanted to throw that in, the difference between having a regular Facebook page and a fan page.
Yeah. Video marketing ads are pretty good too, guys. I mean, YouTube nowadays is huge. Maybe some of you are familiar with some of these sites, but like, imagine creating just a YouTube video of just yourself, recording yourself and saying, hey, I buy houses for cash, any area, any price, any condition. If you're interested in selling your house, call me at this phone number. You might think to yourself, well, that's kind of weird, but hey, you know what? Sellers like that personal touch. And they might be searching on YouTube for whatever strange reason. And it's funny, guys, you might think to yourself, oh, you know what? I'm not, what seller's going to find my video on YouTube? But you'd be surprised at the things that people do. And if that one seller finds you on YouTube and finds that video, and you end up making $15,000 or even $3,000, was it worth it, the 10 minutes that it took you to make that video? Of course it was. So, these are just some of the things, obviously, and all these websites work a little bit different. TubeMogul, YouTube, Vidler, Traffic Geyser, Twitter. To be honest, I still haven't figured out Twitter yet. Kind of complicated. I don't know if it's tweet or tweeting or whatever it might be, but, some of you might be more experienced on it, but I have a Twitter account, and, I just constantly put on there, hey, we buy houses, and people consistently come to me. And I think on Twitter I find more buyers than anything, or more real estate investors that are actually buying houses. But, for me, it's kind of, it's helped me network with other wholesalers and things like that, because sometimes they bring me deals. So again, even though I'm not getting in touch with the actual motivated seller directly, I'm getting in touch with a seller with a wholesaler that's bringing me a deal that maybe doesn't know how to work it because they're new in the business, whatever it might be. So, what is your ad supposed to look like when you post it on maybe Craigslist or Backpage or, one of these type of ads? Well, this is an ad that I created. And again, guys, all these ads look the same, you might be looking at these ads and say, man, none of these ads are really different. Guys, this business is simple. When you start to complicate this business and start to change stuff, that's when stuff doesn't work. This is the type of stuff that works, and that's why I'm showing it to you. It's big, it's bold, it's clear, it's straight to the point. They know where to call you. They know that you handle all the paperwork, and, it's straight to the point. There's nothing much to it. It's about, writing these ads on Craigslist. And actually, on that video that I created on Craigslist, I actually post this same ad. And I show you, and it's funny because I actually got 2 people that emailed me on it today, 2 sellers. And I just, I created the video a little earlier today, and, I posted it on the membership site for you guys. And it's funny, I've already had 2 sellers contact me. So, it works. So, and one of your action items today or this week is going to be to create one of these ads. But, notice it. It's simple, it's straight to the point, and it touches base with every single point that a seller is looking for. So, moving on to business cards. A lot of you have been asking me, hey Eric, should I get my business cards created? When should I get them? Guys, business cards are a great, valuable tool for referral business. And this goes hand in hand with what I've been talking about a little earlier about, being at the club, being at the grocery store, being at, you know, the library, wherever, doesn't matter. You know, people are always networking wherever you go, but you need to tell people that you buy houses. And you need to tell people that you're gonna pay them $1,000 for, you know, any deal that results in a closed real estate transaction that they bring you the lead. You know, it's funny because I got to a point where it almost sounded like I was just giving away money. You know, anybody that would come across me, I would tell them, hey, look, I'll pay you $1,000 if you find me some ugly vacant houses. And obviously I got to explain it to what it is that they were doing. And it doesn't have to be an ugly vacant house. Maybe it's just a motivated seller that they know of. You know, maybe it's a cousin, maybe it's a family member, maybe it's somebody that they know that, you know, is just in a bad situation. You know, it happens all the time. Again, you know, make sure your business card is simple, no pictures of yourself, just simple words that sell. I want to show you a sample business card that I created. You know, I use my business cards a little bit different now, but I think this is a fantastic business card. And you're probably looking at this and saying, man, hot pink. Well, you know what? It stands out. You know, I used to have neon green business cards. I mean, when you look at this business card, I mean, there's no messing around. You know that I buy houses cash, and you know that I close quickly, and you know that when you read the back of my business card, I'm going to pay you $500 cash for referrals that result in a closed real estate transaction. You know, I've actually updated these business cards, but you know, you can probably we pay up to $1,000 cash for referrals. You know, this is a great business card. On the front, it gives you all the contact information. It gives you the website, and on the back, it's got a message to the homeowner. You know, hey, do you need to sell your house quickly? Is your house vacant? Need repairs? Are you in foreclosure? All the things that we've talked about. You know, and then you have that.
Is pink your favorite color, man?
I got a couple pink shirts, man, but no, it's not.
That's why, because I've seen you wear some pink clothing, so I'm starting to put two and two together here. I'm wondering, but anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, well, hey, you know, I'm sure the ladies on the call, you know, they've always dreamt of having like a pink business card. Well, this is your time to do it. You know, personally, I didn't have a pink one. I had a neon green one, but you know, these are things that stand out. You know, I got a picture of a house on there, and you know, this is great, guys. I mean, this is an awesome business card. Awesome business card. You know, so make sure you look at this, and obviously we're gonna, you know, have this module up on the membership site, so you can kind of start creating your business cards, you know, as you choose. But guys, business cards are important. You know, once you start going to these local real estate investor meetings and networking, and hopefully you've already done that, you know, hey, it's okay to tell somebody, hey, look, I don't have a business card right now. It's not a big deal. You know, don't tell them, hey, I don't have a business card because I'm brand new in the business. Just tell them, hey, look, I ran out of business cards. I'm getting more printed. You know, nobody needs to know that you're just starting in the business. It's not a big deal. You know, you can always take down their phone number or give them your phone number. Write it down on a piece of paper. You know, everyone's got a cell phone nowadays, so they can store the number in their phone, or you can store their number in your phone. But you know, these business cards are great, guys. Signs on your vehicle. You know, it's funny because when I first started out, you know, again, I wanted to let everybody know that I bought houses. So I bought some magnets to put on my car, and I drove around everywhere, and all the magnets said were "We buy houses" and a phone number. You know, these are inexpensive, they're effective, especially if you're driving around for ugly vacant houses in different neighborhoods. You know, depending on the size of your vehicle, you might want to put it on the side of your car, on the back windshield, wherever it is. It works. It really does. You know, and it's funny because when you're out there driving for ugly vacant houses, you'll have a lot of people stop you and say, hey, do you buy houses? And you say, yeah, I do. You know, and then you hand them your business card, or you tell them what you do, and, you know, they might tell you about a particular lead. You know, I know I've had a couple of experiences where they saw my signs on my car, and I was just driving around, and somebody said, hey, you know, my cousin's got a house for sale, and, you know, it needs some repairs, and she's kind of going through a tough time. Will you call her? Yeah, I'll definitely call her. What's her phone number? You know, here's my card, or, you know, have her get in touch with me, but I definitely want to talk to her. You know, what is it that these signs look like? Well, hey, I mean, that truck is awesome, by the way. You know, you don't have to have an ad that big, but, you know, it says "We buy houses" and a phone number. You know, again, guys, these are just pictures that I grabbed off of Google Images, but, you know, I kind of like the magnets that I have on the four corners because it's simple. It says "We buy houses" and it's your phone number. That's all people need to know, you know. That truck is an awesome example because it's big and it's huge. You know, you could do that too. You know, you could pay somebody to drive around in a truck all day with a big We Buy Houses, sign on there, and their job is to drive around all day, every day, through neighborhoods and through the particular neighborhoods that you're buying houses or on main intersections, so everybody knows that you buy houses. This stuff works, guys, and it's inexpensive. I think some of these magnets might cost you, I don't know, maybe $10 to make. $10, and you have free marketing, and you can put it on your car. I was never scared of putting magnets on my car, and, everybody knew that I bought houses, which was pretty cool. So this is a great way, guys, to find motivated sellers. Maybe some of you have already done it, maybe some of you haven't, but think about your car as a walking advertisement or marketing piece, and you need to be doing this type of stuff, especially if you're starting out. Another way, guys, to find motivated sellers is for sale by owners. Calling sellers that don't have real estate agents, because obviously when they have a real estate agent, they're getting in the middle of it. And, it just kind of makes the deal a little bit more complicated. Once they have a real estate agent, they probably want closer to retail value. But you can call for sale by owners, and really this is kind of the cold calling part of the business, but it works. If you pick up your Sunday paper and go through the real estate section and look for all the for sale by owner ads, there's a ton of people that are selling houses there. You can call every single one of them and tell them, hey, I buy houses for a living, and I saw your ad in the local newspaper, and I have a couple questions to ask you. And then you go through the pre-screening questions, which I'm going to be providing for you, and just check to see if it's a deal. Another good tip is, maybe when you're a little bit more experienced, is getting, somebody to call these sellers for you. Hiring an intern to call these sellers and just ask, the pre-screening questions. We're going to be talking about that. That's exactly what those questions are. But guys, it's great. I've done deals just calling for sale by owners. Maybe you're just driving around and you see a house that's for sale. It's funny because you can do a lot of deals. Usually the houses, like with ugly vacant houses, the deals that are usually the best are the ones that, don't already have a for sale sign in front of it, because nobody knows about the house, and usually it's not for sale and the seller wasn't even thinking about selling it. But have you ever seen, and I'm sure some of you can relate, have you ever driven by a house and, the for sale by owner sign was like completely falling apart, the number was, faded out, you could barely see the sign, I don't know, maybe it looked like it's been out there for like 6 months. Those are the types of people that might be a little bit more motivated than others. An owner that's got a pretty looking sign like this in front of the house, they're usually not motivated because they take pride in their house. They're going to put a nice for sale by owner sign. But if you're driving around and you see like a dilapidated for sale by owner sign, hell, maybe you want to take down that phone number and call that for sale by owner and see what's going on with their situation. If you can't see the phone number, get off and knock on the door and say, hey, my name is Eric. I buy houses for a living. I wanted to get some details from you, as far as your house. Is it still for sale? And, what is it you're asking? And asking the pre-screening questions. Again, we'll get to those. But guys, for sale by owners is a great way to find deals. And you can get others to do this for you. You can do it yourself. And again, it's great experience, to kind of get your feet wet as to what to say and how to say it. And we're going to be talking about that in Module 3, next week. I can't wait to get to that because it's going to be real cool. The 10th way that I have here to find motivated sellers is bus bench signs. This is kind of a more expensive type of piece of marketing, but they work very highly effective. I'm sure, whatever city you're in, you see bus bench signs all the time. This particular ad, I couldn't really find a picture of somebody that, had a We Buy Houses bus bench sign, but, this is a realtor here that, is advertising her services. And realtors do this all the time, but man, I've never cared what my realtor looks like. I'm not a fan of putting my picture anywhere. It doesn't tell, your face doesn't tell me, whether or not you're going to resolve my problem. So what you would want to have on this sign is the exact type of thing that we've been talking about on all these, different ads. We buy houses, any price, any area, any condition, and a phone number. That's it, guys. Keep it simple. And those words speak louder than you can ever imagine. Some of these bus bench signs, they can be pretty expensive. You're talking maybe thousands of dollars sometimes. They're going to make you sign a contract 6 months to a year, but these are highly effective. Maybe some of you, I know some of you are on a budget, but some of you want to go out there and just start killing it and have some money to spend. Well, these are effective marketing strategies. You're going to have to call, a local advertising company in your city or your town. wherever you might be and get some pricing. Shop around and see what it is that they can offer. But this is a very highly effective way of finding motivated sellers. Billboards. I know you guys have seen these because Home Investors is all over the place, and this is how I'll tell you what, guys, Home Investors has made their fortune and created a name for themselves because of these billboards. This is the most expensive type of sign. These signs can sometimes cost tens of thousands of dollars. Now, this is obviously kind of a more advanced technique, but they do work, and maybe you want to do it in your city. It's completely up to you. Myself personally, I've never done it. I've always wanted to, and at some point I probably will. I've just figured out some other things that work, and it's all about figuring out what works in your market. I don't suggest anyone that's just starting out to go out and spend $10,000 or $5,000, whatever it's going to cost in your local city to do this, but it's a very, very highly effective way. Home Investors buys houses all over the country, and they're all in every single city, and I'm sure you've seen these. But again, this is a shotgun approach to finding motivated sellers and people that want to sell their houses. But, when you do this type of advertising, people know that you mean business. When you see these Home Investor signs, you know that Home Investors is a legitimate company, that they're buying houses on a daily basis. And when a seller calls, sellers aren't stupid either. They realize that, a billboard like that is going to cost them some bucks. So they're going to automatically know that you're a serious home buyer, which is pretty cool. It's pretty good to know that the seller has already some confidence in you that, oh wow, this is a real deal home buyer, and they're going to be buying my house. So let me call them. Again, but this can be expensive, and if you're just starting out, I don't recommend you do this. But hey, if you want to take a shot at it, nothing's stopping you. If this billboard costs you $5,000, but you get a deal that brings in you $20,000, was it worth it? Of course it was. I actually know a lot of the Home Investors guys, and I do a lot of business with them, and they do a lot of deals off these billboards. It's really amazing what they do, and they really do work.
But Eric, you're only obviously recommending like these advanced strategies for like people that for the people that are really gonna ramp up their business once they've done several deals, and they're doing deals on a consistent weekly and monthly basis. I mean, this is not something that is probably not the best approach for someone that's just starting out, and they're obviously on a tight budget, right? Yeah,
without a doubt, guys. Don't go broke putting up a billboard sign. This is not for the beginner. This is something that's more, and I want to cover it because at some point in your wholesaling business, you might get to this point where you want to do this, but heck, you might even want to do it now. I'm not going to tell you what you can and what you can't do, but you can implement any of the ways that we're talking about tonight on how to find motivated sellers. But yeah, Alex, you're 100% correct. If you're just starting out, you're working on a budget, ugly vacant houses, yellow letters, bandit signs, postcards, all those things work just as good as this billboard.
Yeah.
But just imagine if you, in your ideal day, right, if you would implement every single one of these strategies, how many more motivated sellers would you have in your life, and how many more deals would you be doing? So at some point, your goal should be to do every single one of these strategies, all at the same time consistently. At that point, you're going to be making so much money, it doesn't matter what you spend on this advertising, because the cost is going to offset without a doubt. So, moving on to the next one, Yellow Pages. Yellow Pages is, I did a lot of Yellow Page advertising back home in Miami, and it's probably one of the most effective marketing techniques. The Yellow Pages can be pretty pricey. They're going to lock you in for a 1-year minimum contract. I think my Yellow Page ad was about $1,100 a month, but the very first deal that I did off the Yellow Pages, it paid for the ad, for the next 2 years. We did a really big deal, off of that Yellow Page ad, and, I was pretty happy we put it in there. And usually these ads, guys, they're the size of a dollar bill. Those are really the ads that are the most effective in the Yellow Pages. But you need to see if this works in your particular market. What's funny is because when I moved here to Dallas, I obviously picked up the Yellow Pages, and I started looking through it. And I realized that there wasn't any We Buy Houses ads in there. And I was like, that's kind of strange. Why is it that there's no We Buy Houses ads in there? And then I look at my, I look back home at the Yellow Pages in Miami, and there's We Buy Houses ads everywhere. So for me, just to make an educated decision, I kind of said, you know what, there's a reason there's no We Buy Houses out there. Because number one, it's probably not working. Because, for example, I think the Green Sheet here locally is probably a bigger publication than the Yellow Pages. It just circulates a lot more and it's a lot cheaper. So, investors decide not to go in there, and I think just sellers don't necessarily pick up the Yellow Pages as often as they do the Green Sheet. So, this works everywhere, guys, but you just need to figure out whether it's going to work in your market or not. Don't just go over there and say, oh, I'm just going to go ahead and place the Yellow Pages out in there. Do some research. Look to see if you see other We Buy Houses ads in there. Call those investors and tell them, hey, I'm a wholesaler in town, and, how's this ad working for you? They tell you, man, it's crap. I'm spending too much money on it and it's not really working. Well, there's your answer. You don't want to be putting your money towards that. But if you call them and they say, man, it's the best ad I have out there, it's one of the best marketing pieces, then you might want to consider it. And again, this is maybe for more of the experienced type person where you want to really explode your business and start getting deals coming in. But guys, this works. This works. It really does work. It comes at a pretty high price. Like I said, I think I had a dollar bill ad in there. And again, it was just something that said, we buy houses cash fast, just like all of the previous ads I've been showing you tonight. And, about $1,100 a month. But again, the first deal we ever did, it paid for 2 years of my marketing in the Yellow Pages. So this is definitely a good way to, find motivated sellers. And hell, you guys can even look at, I think everyone's got a Yellow Pages in their house. So pick up Yellow Pages after this webcam and look and see what's in there. You'd be surprised to see some of the ads that are in there, and it's usually under the real estate section or like want to buy section, just depending where your local market, your local city, everywhere is a little bit different. So I think we're hitting the 90-minute mark, and again, I didn't want this call to go, over the 2 hours like we did last time. But guys, I've talked about a lot of ways to find motivated sellers in your business tonight. These are things that I implement every single day in my business, and they work. And sellers are consistently calling me and blowing up my phone and wanting to sell their houses at a deep discount. If you want to be successful in this business, you need to go out there and start implementing these strategies right away. When I got here to Dallas, if I didn't place a classified ad in the newspaper, or if I didn't drive around for ugly vacant houses, and start sending out yellow letters and postcards, I would not have done deals, or I would not be doing deals. So you need to go out there and, these are going to be your action items for this week. And the action items I want to give you are basically the ones that are going to cost, no money to very little money, because obviously I know a lot of people are starting this business on a budget, and you can do deals on a budget, but some of you might want to say, I'm ready to take my business off and ready for it to get, to start exploding. So I'm going to place a classified ad. I'm going to get somebody to hire somebody to send out yellow letters. I'm going to hire somebody to put out banner signs. You can do all that stuff. It just depends. You need to look at yourself individually and figure out what you want to do. But for the action items for this week, I want you guys to get your phone ringing. So I want you guys to first place a classified ad on Craigslist and Backpage, and those are We Buy Houses ads, similar to the one I did. It doesn't need to look exactly like it. It can just say We Buy Houses cash with a phone number. And again, these ads should be under the real estate section. For those of you that want to start, to start cranking up your buying machine a little bit more, go ahead and place an ad in the classified ad. I recommend you do it. It's a great way to start getting your phones to ring. And you're going to be surprised at how many calls you get. On average, my classified ads, in the newspaper, I think I might get probably about 10 calls a week. And I look at all the deals that come in, and, we get everything pre-screened, and, I visit a couple of houses every week for my classified ads, on both Craigslist and on the newspaper publication. So for those of you on a budget, go out there, implement your We Buy Houses ads on the Craigslist and Backpage. Even for those of you guys that aren't on a budget, go ahead and do this action item, because I guarantee you're going to get sellers calling you. And just go out there and do it. Second, I want you guys to put out a set of 10 We Buy Houses banner signs in 3 different neighborhoods where you see potential to do deals. Hopefully by now you've implemented some of the action items from last week, and that's, finding out, talking to different wholesalers and talking to realtors as to where you should be buying houses. So if you know that already, I want you to go put out 30 signs in different neighborhoods, right? And again, guys, if you're on a budget, you know, you don't need to go buy bandit signs. You know, you don't need to go buy 18 by 24 sign. Hell, go behind a Home Depot or go behind a grocery store and get a bunch of cardboard boxes and make some bandit signs. You know, the uglier the better. Guys, when I first started out, I was doing that. You know, I didn't have any money. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go get some free boxes behind Home Depot, behind Lowe's, behind grocery stores. I'm going to start writing We Buy Houses on there with my phone number and put it out there. You know what? I got calls and I did deals. You know? So, you know, anybody can do this, guys, whether you're on a budget or whether you're not. I mean, these things do work. But either way, I want you to start implementing this right away because We Buy Houses signs do work. You know, very effective. I think, like I said earlier, we had somebody on a Q&A session on Friday. I think they were in California that put out a We Buy House sign, and I think they were already doing a deal. I hope to get an update from them on Friday to see if they sold it or not. Actually, I know they had it under contract, so I'm happy for whoever that was. I can't remember the name right now. But go out there and start doing that. Third, again, if you guys haven't already done this, I want you guys to start driving those neighborhoods where you see potential to do deals and take down at least 10 ugly vacant houses. You need to mail a yellow letter to them, to both the property address and the mailing address if it has one. And the reason for that, you know, I've said it a few times, is that when you start mailing these yellow letters to the property address, maybe it's vacant and they might have a forwarding address which goes to the seller. So you need to make sure to send a letter to both of those people and implement the steps that I've shown in the pre-launch videos to find these sellers. But, you know, guys, I mean, these are the things that you just have to go out there and do. You know, this is how you find motivated sellers. And this is where the action items really start taking place. You know, now it's, you know, for some of you on the call, you know, and I'm not sure exactly, you know, how many people have gone out there and started taking action, but this is when the real business starts, guys. Going out there and finding motivated sellers. If you don't go out there and start implementing these strategies right away, you know, the second you get off the webcam, you know, things aren't going to happen. But when you start implementing these strategies, you're going to see that things are going to start to happen.